you like to be cloned?
Would I like to be?
Yeah.
Am I already cloned?
Oh, are you already cloned?
I'd rather not say.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the Collective again. If you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is, I wish it was smooth 7. Man, might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. We probably gonna be at 100K by the time this video drop. I hope it is. But it's been a long journey, been a long road, been a long ride, man. I love every last bit of it. I enjoy it. I love this, man. I love conversating with y'all in the comments. I love hearing y'all thoughts and perspectives and ideas. We built something special, for real, for real. I'm so serious. And I wouldn't have changed and done this with nothing else. I asked for something, and God gave me this. So I appreciate it, man. I thank God every day. But y'all already know what it is, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Sinners was not no movie. That was a spiritual manual, if you ask me. How many people watched Sinners and probably thought this is just a vampire movie with a little music added to it? It's so much to unpack. I'm gonna have to do this in 2 parts. If you have not seen the movie, this is your chance to scroll now. We talking about I ruined it for you. Like I said, Sinners was a whole spiritual download wrapped in a ritual. We're gonna start at the juke joint with the twin brothers smoking stag. They came back to Mississippi in the Jim Crow era to open up their black-owned juke joint. We all know the juke joint wasn't just no club. That was a sacred space for us. It was a safe zone where black folks could gather, be themselves, dance, laugh, cry, sing. Most importantly, where they could remember who they were. Enter Sammy, their little cousin, who has this amazing gift. I ain't just talking about a musical talent. I'm talking about a spiritual frequency. Sammy could play the blues in a way that could call spirit. This is the whole reason why Remick, which was that first vampire that showed up, this is why he wanted Sammy. He was actually willing to let everybody else live as long as he got Sammy. He said Sammy could play music so good that it could connect the souls of different eras. The movie, the music opened portals. So this is what we mean when we talk about music today and we say it's a conjuring tool. It's a weapon, it's a bridge, it's a spell. The moment he touched that guitar, you could feel the ancestors move. You could feel spirit rise. Why? Because sound is vibration. Vibration is how we move between realms. But here's where it gets real, because that same power that Sammy held also attracted the darkness. Because when you get it, you don't just attract light. You attract everything, and that includes spiritual parasites, energy vampires, and people who don't want to own what they don't understand. Let's talk about the vampires, shall we? Because they weren't just thirsty for blood. They was thirsty for culture. Now, Remick and his folks didn't want to unalive Sammy. They wanted to own him, own his music, own his power, own his frequency. That's colonization as we know it. This is what they've done to our culture. Black creativity, black sound, black food, black ritual. Take it, twist it, label it there, and feed it back to us disconnected from its root. The main reason people demonizing what they showed us in the movie is literally embedded within us. Now, the biggest thing that I took notice of, vampires could not come in until they were invited. This goes back to everything that I've been telling y'all, especially when I get a lot of bookings and people coming to me saying, I've been hexed. They put something on me. The first thing I tell them is you let them. Not only that, you sitting right here affirming it. No, they can't come in unless they invited. That's spiritual law. Yes, even dark forces need consent, whether it's in the form of contracts, bad deals, fear, silence, humiliation rituals, you name it. Now, Remick, that first vampire that went to that couple's house, remember, he didn't break in. He manipulated his way in, finessed his way. And that was symbolic to tell you that evil don't always look scary. Sometimes it looks safe. Sometimes it looks like an opportunity. Sometimes it looks like it needs help. Better take it back to what I always tell you, that ain't got shit to do with me. That's the motto. As a true hoodoo girly, I was so proud in that movie. Y'all know we about to talk about the hoodoo element. Miss Annie, honey, she was the quiet conjurer in the corner. I peeped game when she talked about that mojo bag immediately. I'm like, okay, Annie girl, protect your man. That's what I'm talking about. Mojo bags and hoodoo are used for protection, guidance, and the power. You know, the thing everybody wants, do anything to get it. But anywho, Annie was the one who knew about shit before anybody else knew. She had that inner knowing. She was connected to her higher self. as well as the ancestors. That's the wisdom of the root worker, the seer, the protector. Fire, the singing, the garlic, all of that is coded protection. We ain't just lighting fire for warmth, we using it to cleanse, send up messages to burn away what doesn't belong. Gotta talk about that music scene that took us through different genres, different eras. That was the visual timeline of Black sonic power. Blues to funk to rock to soul. Every sound birthed from pain to power. Yet even with all that creativity, we still gotta work so hard to protect it. Because the vampires don't just want to feed. They want to own the entire record label. No different from what we seeing today. They're going to have to meet me at part 2 because I'm going to break down the bloodlines and the churches. In the meantime and in between time, get in them comments and let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all enjoy it just as much as I did. What symbolism did you peep? As always, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Y'all spam up y'all thoughts, man. She was going crazy on that clip.
When you repeat a chorus over and over and over, so when a kid hears a song and he starts singing that chorus over and over and over, then you start to hear it in the alpha state into the subconscious mind. So you start to become the song or become what you're saying.
That's facts, man.
We should talk about that thing with Princess Kate.
Yeah, so have you seen Rosemary's Baby?
I have seen that movie.
Basically, there's a chick, she gets pregnant, they switch her doctor. The doctor ends up being someone who's grooming her. He's part of a satanic cult, and he takes her child, says it's been stillborn, but is actually taking the child and is now using it as part of this satanic ritual cult. So that is the boiled down thesis of the film. When Princess Kate presented her child to the world, she wore the exact same dress
As the mother. Like the exact same dress.
The exact same
What
dress.
are we
Should I say it too?
The exact same dress! It's weird though,
It's
man.
weird.
She still hadn't popped up.
No.
Yeah, I mean, she's so we think, right?
I don't know which one I prefer, that she's telling the truth or that this is true. There's like, there's a cult baby running around.
I don't want a cult baby.
How y'all feel about that clip? I'm new to that rabbit hole, so I'm gonna have to go looking down that one. But I got another crazy movie for y'all to go check out. Midsummer. Trust me, trust me, trust me. It's a little bit dark. It's weird. You gotta have a tough stomach for at least a couple scenes in that movie. Y'all let me know if y'all like that movie or not. It's twisted, so you gotta be open-minded. You gotta be open-minded. But it's about a group of people. It's about some friends. They just check it out, man. Just check it out. Let me know how y'all feel about it.
So as we, talking, sometimes I forget that he's supposed to be in this disguise, and I keep calling him Mike. Right, and this little girl hears it. She's like, and she looks over, and I think she recognized him. Like, I really think she did. So then when I realized she was peeping, then I start calling him Dave.
That disguise to him was the burn victim look. Just
It was a disguise?
It was a disguise to him.
So he grabbed the kids. They looking normal. Mike comes out. He has his disguise on,
How did he find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me and he had contacted me.
Songs come at the strangest times. I could be walking through a park or something and it'll just hit you. Every time I get a platinum album, it's never taken lightly on my behalf. I'm always honored, and it's great thanks,
They looking normal. Mike comes out. He has his disguise on.
That disguise to him was the burn victim.
And Dave, yes, that's his name.
So then when I realized she was peeping, then I start calling him Dave.
When you go about writing, what happens?
Songs come at the strangest times. I could be walking.
How did he find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me and he had contacted me.
And they knew the world wasn't ready to see that Michael Jackson, so they had to keep him alive. Remember what I said prior. They've been cloning since 1945. So Michael comes back 2 years later. He looks nothing like the real Michael Jackson, but people buy into it. He can still dance. Because the clones is good mimicker. They're good at mimicking, man. That's what they do. So he got all his moves, but he was a little bit stiffer. I don't know if y'all Look at the old Michael and then look at the new Michael. He's a little bit stiffer. Okay. Now, when Michael first came back, didn't nobody really know how to take it. All right. Because I can't recall if Billie Jean came out before the Pepsi commercial. But Michael sold his soul way before then, because he did the Wiz commercial when Billie Jean wasn't even thought of. When he did the Wiz play, when he said you can't get in, you can't get out the game, Michael sold his soul a long time ago, because Joe Jackson sold his children out long ago, and Joe Jackson forced his kids to have Berry Gordy and Quincy Jones and amongst the other executive producers. Them boys was long ago. All right? That's about Michael.
You've put out some very strange tweets of late about cloning. What is it about cloning? Do you want to get cloned, or are celebrities getting cloned?
Yeah, man, I think people should look it up, man. I don't really want to say too much, but I will say do your own research.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. It's no more conspiracy. I know. And so it's really up to each person to do their own research and come to your own truths, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we as people listen too much to what somebody tells us, and we don't actually go background check and really say, you know what, that really don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you really look at a lot of different things and you start to think, and so what I like to do is I like to provoke thought, you know, and provoking thought is the least you could do. You can't make somebody believe something. You really got to just provoke thought.
Would you like to be cloned?
Would I like to be?
Yeah.
Am I already cloned?
Oh, are you already cloned?
I'd rather not say. But
that means there's a possibility that you could already be cloned.
Yes, there's a possibility. But, you know, I know I'm me because my fingernails look the same and I have dreams too.
And also, too, y'all need to pay attention to these other celebrities when they're leaving hints. They're leaving clues all over the place. Everybody can't talk. Everybody can't talk because, you know, they got kids or, you know, they made some type of agreement. But pay attention. Everybody who's in this shit or who's in this industry or who has a clone is not evil or malicious. Some people just got born into this shit, like me.
It's not just about copying a person. It's about consciousness transfer. And it started with MK Ultra, and the reason why this is important is because it's a lot of people that are unwillingly participating in this shit, and they don't even know it. It's mind control, and it started with Germany. It started after World War II. All the were, you know, escorted, VIP'd in. All the top scientists and military personnel were harbored in the United States and South America. And also, prior to that, the Nazis went to Antarctica. And a lot of the reason why Admiral Byrd went to Antarctica was because the were in Antarctica. Yes, Warner von Braun, exactly. Props, Aaron Badescu. I don't know if I'm saying that right, my bad, but Warner von Braun is actually he actually started NASA, I believe, and on Warner von Braun's tombstone, he has a Bible verse that talks about the firmament. So
in one of those clips, and early on in that clip, he said they didn't start cloning until 1945. Some of those pictures were clearly way before 1945. So y'all let me know if y'all think that some of them was cloned in some of those pictures, and where else did y'all mind take y'all as far as some of the people before that? Are they time travelers? Vampires? Like, y'all gotta go in deep. We gotta question these things now. So y'all let me know, because that's what I was thinking. Because that Jay-Z picture looked a little bit older than the 1945. So if that was like, say, 1930 and they was cloning in 1945, that was 15 years in between that. So what was they doing then to make people be able to still be around now then? If they wasn't cloning until 1945, so 15 years before that, what was they doing and how was they still able to stay around till now? That's my question. I'm curious about that because, yeah, some of them pictures look way older than the 1945. And B.o.b, a legend. He always dropped gems.
There's a theory that Sinners, the whole story about the musician, the kid that was playing the music that attracted all of the demons and all of the vampires, theory is he is based off Robert Johnson. There's a picture of Robert Johnson. Boom. And that's him right there.
Oh, shit.
And his hat was always tilted like that. At the end of the movie, and this is a big spoiler for anybody that hasn't watched it yet. When he goes back to the village he's from and the town he's from, he's playing his guitar in the church, and there's 2 different end credit scenes. Now, I have a theory for both. In the second last end credit, Stack and Haley's character walk into the bar and they sit beside the kid, but the kid is now old because this is like way into the future, right? But if you look closely, there's a mirror in front of them. Obviously, Stack and Haley are vampires, so you're not gonna see the reflection in the mirror because they're vampires. But why was the grown-up kid reflection not showing in the mirror? Because he might have sold his soul to the devil for his music. And there's a slight look at the very end where he looks up.
Yeah.
Now, theory speculates that was him looking at the devil and deciding to use his music, because the whole dilemma was his father, being a preacher, was telling him, you gotta choose one or the other. You gotta choose if you're with God or you want to keep playing the music because the music's gonna attract the devil. And him playing his guitar in the church, that's him saying like, I'm gonna choose music anyway. And when he looks up, people say what he looked up at was the devil himself, where he decided to sell his soul. And that's why later on he became so successful.
So I want to talk about this scene right here.
I am.
Ryan Coogler doesn't introduce Remick like your typical vampire. He doesn't rise from a coffin or creep through shadows. He falls. Literally. The first time we see him, his body appears to be dropping from the sky. The camera doesn't fully confirm it, but the visual language is loud and clear. This is a descent. His skin is burning under the sun and he crashes violently to the ground. It's not just a dramatic entrance, it's a symbolic one. I think Coogler is tapping into something deeper. This isn't just a vampire arriving, it's a fallen being unleashed. And that's where the myth of the fallen angel comes in. Everything about Remick's introduction mirrors that. He's scorched by the light, weakened, disoriented, stripped of any elegance or power. He's not gliding in like some untouchable threat. He's crawling, wounded, desperate. Just like Lucifer in religious mythology, cast out, punished, and transformed. The sun doesn't just hurt him physically, it judges him. It marks him as unnatural. And Coogler doesn't stop there. He adds vultures circling overhead. Death is coming, and the land already knows. This isn't just a physical fall, it's a moral one. What makes that imagery so effective is how it reshapes the entire narrative. This isn't just a horror movie with a supernatural villain. This is a story about intrusion, about something breaking through where it doesn't belong, about what happens when evil that's been cast out finds a way back in. But here's the twist. Remick doesn't just rise up and start attacking people. He limps his way to the doorstep of a white couple. The husband is a known clan member, but instead of reacting with suspicion, they let him in. Why? Because Remick knows how to perform vulnerability. He's not demanding entry, he's playing the victim. He speaks calmly, flatters their worldview, and presents himself as someone on their side. He positions himself against the Choctaw hunters, he talks about gold, he doesn't come in forcefully, he makes them want to help him. And that's the danger. That's the power of the fallen angel archetype. It's not brute strength, it's manipulation. And it's such a deliberate, powerful choice. Remick isn't storming into town, he's infiltrating it, not with fangs, but with soft eyes and empty hands. That's the horror Coogler's leaning into here. Evil doesn't always scream, sometimes it whispers, it shows up looking wounded, it makes itself familiar, even comforting, it asks to be let in, and people open the door. That's why this introduction is so much more than just a cool shot. It's the blueprint for what the entire film is doing. Sinners isn't just about vampires and blood, it's a parable about how evil re-enters the world, not through force, but through seduction, through sympathy, through the illusion of shared struggle. Because Remick may look broken when he falls, but that's the point. Fallen angels don't lose power. They just learn how to use it differently. They change tactics. They wear pain like a disguise. And the scariest part? It works. I think Coogler's saying something real here. That the most dangerous forces don't always feel like invaders. Sometimes they feel like something you recognize, something that aligns with your fears, your anger, even your sense of justice. And that's why Remick is so terrifying. Not because he shows up as a monster, but because he shows up as someone you're willing to help. And that's the real horror.
Let's talk about the movie Sinners and the actual symbolism behind some of this. And this is not really a spoiler, but it is, but it's not at the same time. But you have to have watched the movie to understand. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about why the twins were red and one were blue and the symbolism behind that, but all y'all are wrong. Ryan Coogler literally said at an interview that he chose twins to embody the Nigerian Orisha spirits, the Ibeji twins. Now, the Ibeji twins in Nigeria is very symbolic. And some people believe that twins are supernatural or bad luck or some sort of bad omen. And the Ibeji twins are most depicted wearing red and blue. Because some people say that that symbolizes Yemaya, which is the mother of all. She is like a mermaid spirit, Orisha. And Shango, and his color was red. And Ryan Coogler, the man who made this movie, literally stated that in an interview, that is where the concept of the twins came in. Because so many Africans came from West Africa, and the movie is based on a lot of different African Americans. And then another thing that is literally crazy to me is Preacher Boy, you know, the really good dude that grew up in the church at the beginning. He wanted to pursue his dreams with the blues and all that, is giving Robert Johnson. And y'all know I've done several videos about Robert Johnson. He allegedly went to the crossroads in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and sold his soul to the devil. And they said he met up with Papa Legba. And if y'all not familiar with Papa Legba, I have a lot of videos on him. And he is basically the crossroad deity. He is the one that allows you to get to the crossroads to the other side to get to where you want to go. But allegedly, he sold his soul, and that is how he became Robert Johnson, like one of the best blues musicians in the world. He tuned his guitar, and after that, he was phenomenal, because before he was very mediocre. But after he went to the crossroads and made a deal with a man in black, that is how he became who he was. And this is all the things that Robert Johnson said happened. He made songs talking about his experience at the crossroads and how he sold his soul and made his deal. And that's where the preacher boy comes in the movie. He grew up in the church. He grew up around all this love and, you know, biblical stuff. And he wanted to be a blues musician to the point he would do anything. And Ryan Coogler said the concept of that ties in with the Robert Johnson and Papa Legba situation with the preacher boy. What kind of deals people do in oppressive situations. So basically, people would literally sell their soul, forget their roots, forget everything just to be on top. And that's where the whole Papa Legba and Robert Johnson come in. So that's literally who Preacher Boy's character was supposed to be. And y'all can look up the interviews. The producer, the man who made the movie, stated that. I've been seeing so many different videos of people and talking about what they think it symbolizes and stuff like that. But no, this is exactly what he stated. This movie have a lot of Nigerian and West African culture, and I love it. But to me, I really enjoyed this movie, but I feel like it was so good that I wanted more. Like, I wanted them to explain more of the Native Americans and how they tied into the movie. Because if you watch the movie, the Native Americans come to the people's house to look for the vampire and all that. And then after that, they just went on and they wasn't featured anymore. I also wanted to know more about the twins before they moved to Chicago. I wanted to know more about that. But I get the movie was already long. There's only so much you can put in a movie, but the movie was really, really good. And I did not know that this was deeply inspired by the Orishas and the Yoruba culture in Nigeria and a lot of Haitian culture as well. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments and if y'all seen the movie.
Collective, y'all sending hella Sinner clips today. Y'all was interested in that.
So the movie Sinners done took me down another rabbit hole. It's like the more I watch this shit, the more shit I find out. So now I heard Annie say the word Haint a couple of times. And while I'm first watching the movie, I didn't know what the shit meant. It's the scene where they're all together and she's like, either it's a Haint or it's a vampire. And I never even thought about the word Haint. I just heard vampire. And again, I went down that rabbit hole. And the word Haint, let's just say, matter of fact, look at this. You see what that shit say right there? In the Southern culture, a Haint is a term for a ghost or evil spirit. I'm gonna move out the way so y'all can read that. You see that shit right there? Read all that. And if you don't want to read it, you can Google it. Truth of the matter is, the symbolism in that movie was top notch. If you break down scene for scene in that movie, it's something that you can dig out of that scene and you can learn from. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the movie does better the second week. This shit is crazy, man. When you go back and look at the movie, just look at how strong of a woman Annie was. And again, this is why I say this is a very powerful movie, because spiritually, this movie is gonna open up a lot of doors just from the gems that the movie is dropping. I know you know that this movie is deeper than just vampires. This shit is dropping jewels. This shit is touching spirits. I'm out.
Everyone knows about Epstein's Island, but have you heard about Rothschild's Island? They bought an island right in Antarctica. Their island is completely censored out on Google Maps and you can't see anything. So why do they need an island in Antarctica?
You know what's crazy? We spoke on Epstein Island early on in the channel and the collective. Shout out to y'all again. Y'all steered me right to the right path. Y'all said, hey bro, did you know that Rothschilds have an island too? Y'all started naming a whole bunch of other islands. So to those who didn't know, why y'all think that they got it censored? Why you think that they only let us know about Epstein Island? Do you think they doing the same shit on the other island? I don't know. Man, it's a whole lot of shit they doing on them islands, in my opinion. But again, shout out to the collective. Y'all must have really been interested in the symbolism and centers, because y'all coming with them clips back to back. And I'm glad y'all did this after, it's been out like a month or so. So I appreciate y'all sending it now rather than, like right when it came out. But I can't wait for it to hit like Prime. I want to go see it again, but I'm going to just wait till it come out. I think it's like on the 20th, I think it come out. But yeah, I think it was a dope movie. It was a lot of gems you can pull from.
Why doesn't anyone talk about this? Scientists have just discovered a gigantic ocean 430 miles beneath the Earth's surface. Let me break this down for you. They went down 430 miles in the ocean and found an ocean inside the ocean. Does this mean the Agartha theory is real? Just a quick recap. The Agartha theory is that there is a legendary city said to reside in the Earth's core. Because think about it, how can you find another ocean inside the ocean? Everything you knew about the oceans is wrong. The scientists said that you could take all three of our oceans, Atlantic, Pacific, and the Indian, and put them together, and this new ocean is still 3 times bigger. This is what you're probably thinking. So they got to the bottom of the ocean, and then the water ended, but they then find another ocean. This raises a few questions. How do you go 430 miles beneath the ocean? Does the water stop at some point? And now we get to the craziest part. And if there is water beneath the oceans, could that mean there is land beneath the surface?
She predicted 9/11, the rise of ISIS, and even the 2004 tsunami. Now, Baba Vanga's visions for 2025 are sending chills across the world. Is another global disaster on the horizon? Baba Vanga, the blind mystic from Bulgaria, lost her sight as a child and claimed she gained something far more powerful, the ability to see the future. Until her death in 1996, people from all over the world traveled to hear her chilling prophecies. Many of her predictions came true, and what she saw for 2025 is terrifying. According to Vanga, 2025 will be a year of global collapse. She foresaw massive political unrest, governments falling, new powers rising from the chaos. She spoke of entire nations being wiped out by extreme climate events and global conflict. And perhaps most disturbing, a new form of control emerging. Technology not just monitoring humanity, but enslaving it. Some believe her warnings point to world war, natural disasters, and the loss of human freedom as governments tighten their grip. Others say her visions are already unfolding. We're just too distracted to notice. Is 2025 the breaking point, or the beginning of something even darker? Baba Vanga's predictions have never been ignored lightly. Stay awake, stay questioning, follow for more real mysteries and hidden truths.
Paramount rabbit hole? Yeah, watch these 22 stars go and hover over the waters and then congregate over the paramount. Para means what? Means breath. Breath means what? Well, breath means spirit, and it hovered over the waters in Genesis. So we have, count them, 22 stars, paramount, paranormal mountain. What could be the paranormal mountain? Well, I'll tell you what, it's Mount Hermon. What's crazy is, in the book of Enoch, 200 angels fell on Mount Hermon and congregated, and there was 22 leaders that were named. Enoch chapter 6, and you can pause and read, but 200 angels, 22 of those were named, and these are all the angels that fell down and congregated at Mount Hermon to talk about how they were going to basically take over the world with unrighteousness. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'll give you the opportunity to pause and read all of this, because in Enoch chapter 6 through 10, there's some interesting things that I personally feel like speak to what's going on right now. And when it comes to stars, Revelation 9 talks about a star fell from heaven and he was given the key to the bottomless pit. And Revelation 9:11 talks about Apollyon. Mount Hermon means the mountain of the chief. What chief? Could it be that chief star that looked like lightning falling from heaven? Hey, Yeshua saw it. It's so funny that stars, falling stars, are referred to as angels and angels referred to as stars. And you got this paramount with 22 of these named stars, and the name Hermon meaning devoted to destruction. And in German, it means soldier. So this is the mountain of the chief, where 22 soldiers met to talk about destruction. And it's so weird that celebrities are called stars. And there's the Hollywood Walk of Fame with all of these stars that are named. I'm wondering if these fallen angels have inhabited bodies and taken over to bring more destruction to the earth. Because it seems that Hollywood and the music industry, they all promote unrighteousness and ungodliness, and it's like they're trying to spread it across the world. And if this paramount is paying homage to this situation that happened in the book of Enoch, well, then that would have to mean that they know exactly what they are doing, and they're doing it on purpose. This is just the tip of the iceberg, because every 22 of these leader angels that are named, their names have meanings. They lead the 200 fallen angels that bring unrighteousness to the world. All the evil, the freaking magic, and all this crazy stuff that's going on. Superb owl, rituals, and all this creepy Masonic ritual. Oh, did you know that Mount Hermon is actually on the 33-degree north longitude? 33. Oh, and 1/3 of the angels fell with Lucifer, and 1/3 out of 100% just so happens to be 33.33%. This is just to get you started. Start going down this rabbit hole. Find out for yourself. Look, they know what they're doing. They're paying homage to these fallen angels because, hey, they might just be the fallen angels. So next time you see a falling star, don't wish upon it.
Might just be. We know they is.
In 1984, the CIA sent a psychic back in time to talk to Martians. This is not code language. The CIA sent psychics back in time to talk to Martians because the CIA had time-traveling spacefaring psychics. They used a psychic, known as a remote viewer, to focus their mind on a location and a time and describe what they saw. The transcript of what that person witnessed on Mars 1 million years ago was part of a large document dump. While the papers don't explain why the CIA wanted to see what Mars looked like 1 million years ago, they do show that the psychic saw civilization. The remote viewer, whose name is redacted, said,
I kind of got an oblique view of a pyramid or pyramid form. It's very high. It's kind of sitting in a large depressed area. I'm tracking severe clouds, more like dust storms. I'm looking at an after effect of a major geologic problem. I just keep seeing very large people. They appear thin and tall, but they're very large, wearing some kind of clothes. Deep inside of a cavern, not of a cavern, more like a canyon. I'm looking up the sides of a steep wall that seem to go on forever, and there's like a structure. It's like the wall of the canyon has been carved. Again, I'm getting a very large structures, huge sections of smooth stone. They have appears to be the very end of a very large road, and there's a marker thing that's very large. Keep getting Washington Monument overlay. It's like an obelisk. See, pyramids. They're huge. It's filtered from storms or something. They're like shelters from storms, different chambers, but they're almost stripped of any kind of furnishings or anything. It's like, strictly a functional place for sleeping, or that's not a good word, hibernations, some form. I get real raw inputs, storms, savage storm, and sleeping through storms. They're ancient people. They're dying. It's past their time or age. They're very philosophic about it. They're just looking for a way to survive, and they just can't. There evidently was a group or party of them that went to find a new place to live. It's like I'm getting all kinds of overwhelming input of the corruption of their environment. It's failing very rapidly, and this group went somewhere, like a long way, to find another place to live.
Perhaps this means that the ancient people somehow made their way to Earth. The strangest part of it all, when the psychic was told what to think about and when, they weren't directly instructed to envision Mars 1 million years ago. Instead, they were given a sealed envelope that held a card that read, "The planet Mars. Time of interest approximately 1 million years BC." No idea what the card said. This is what the psychic saw after just holding that sealed envelope.
When I hear stories like this, look, I think of the clip we saw early on. And I remember seeing it in like 2012 or so. And the alien's tied up. And he's saying that he's from a world years ahead of us. But he says time didn't exist because we destructed Earth. So we had to take off and find somewhere else to stay. When we go find somewhere else to stay, we end up evolving into that alien species. That alien species is trying to come back in time to fix what needs to be fixed so we don't destruct here, which kind of is a weird story because it's almost like they're from the future but trying to fix our past, and we're in the present and we can see them from our future, see ourselves in the future. It's weird. Twisted shit, but they say truth is stranger than fiction. And like I said, some people are going to be closed-minded and shut off to it. Some people are going to be open-minded. Some people remember this clip. Some people have seen this clip on their own time. Makes me wonder about what he's talking about right there. Is that the same story? Just timelines was off? I don't know, but that's what it reminds me of.
Now this is scary. If this is true, it means that much of what we've been taught about humanity is a lie. The oldest records indicate that the first civilization was the ancient Sumerians, who existed over 6,000 years ago, even predating the Egyptians. They lived in Mesopotamia, which is now modern-day Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Syria, and Turkey. The Sumerians, who referred to themselves as black-headed people, are said to have worshipped the Anunnaki, a highly advanced alien race. For their time, they had an extraordinary understanding of the universe, as evidenced by their accurate drawings of the solar system. The Sumerians made groundbreaking inventions like the wheel, the alphabet, and the calendar we use today. They also developed irrigation systems and methods for measuring time. Many believe that the Anunnaki gave them this knowledge, challenging modern historical explanations. The stories from their ancient tablets align with religious texts from around the world. For example, the Epic of Gilgamesh mentions a great flood, a story that is echoed in cultures across the globe. What was once thought of as myth is now believed by scientists to be evidence of a global flood. If this is true, what other information in the Sumerian tablets could be real?
I know y'all don't like him.
Have you ever wondered what's really behind a mirror? There is a theory that mirrors not only reflect your image, but are portals to another dimension. A dimension inhabited by entities that imitate our behavior, waiting for the perfect moment to cross. This theory was born in the 1960s, when a group called the Reverb Project conducted secret experiments with mirrors. Leaked reports say that during testing, the reflections began to move independently, even when the people were no longer there. It's said that if you stare into a mirror in complete darkness for more than 3 minutes, you might notice something strange. Your reflection might blink out of sync, or even smile at you, even if you don't. For this reason, many warn,
Never have two mirrors facing each other in a room. That infinite hallway you see could be the door these entities need to cross. Now tell me, do you dare to look at your mirror tonight? But be careful. You might not be the only one watching. Follow me on Carson Mysteries.
Now this video was posted 3 years ago. Now I'm not gonna say what I really want to say because TikTok will take me down for integrity and authenticity. But all I'm gonna say is, it's not a coincidence.
The Pentagon is using high-altitude balloons to conduct surveillance tests in the Midwestern states of South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, and Illinois, according to documents from the Federal Communication Commission. The Guardian reports the surveillance balloons are carrying small satellite-like vehicles with synthetic aperture radars, sensors, and communications equipment. The surveillance balloons travel at altitudes of up to 65,000 feet and are used to track vehicles via the synthetic radars in all kinds of weather. The Guardian reports that the balloons use an advanced mesh networking technologies, which allows them to share data and communicate with one another.
The thing with, it's not that we believe everything, it's that we question everything. We already seen the Denver airport. It's too much shit to not question. And because we question, we get labeled behind questioning. Ain't that crazy? It sounds like to me, people try and make us some sheep. And we not sheep. We like, I can't use certain language on here. We're gonna follow YouTube's guidelines. And we like forget that, bro. We gonna be we stepping out of the herd. We gotta go do our own thing. Y'all doing some wild ass shit, and there's so much going on out here. The trees is growing. We trying to go see more land. We trying to go expand and grow and be creative, and y'all want us to do y'all work. The work that y'all want don't even make sense. Ain't even needed if we be honest. All the shit that we gotta do. Let's be honest. People. It is what it is, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Spam it up. Is that too far of a reach?
I will admit, as a friend of Ye, that I thought he was completely paranoid and crazy when he kept telling me that everyone around him was an op. He used to say, this person's an op, this person's an op. Like, you know, like as if he was accusing them all of being feds. He even at one point questioned me. When I was asking him questions and everything was coming down, he's like, are you an op? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know anybody in Hollywood. Obviously, I'm not an op. And I thought these were just, again, paranoid delusions. Now I have a very different perspective on this. I have an understanding of what Kanye went through to get out, right? To basically sell everything, give his designs, end his marriage. Because when you leave a cult, of course, it's not easy. They try to destroy you. They try to Sigmund Freud you. They try to gaslight you. They try to call you crazy, express concern, fake friends, even put pressure on your family. Oh man, you just need some rest. You're just going crazy. Hey, you know what? I'm your friend. I've always been your friend. We don't want this to happen to you. And then when you say, no, I'm done with this, then come all of the headlines. Then come the headlines about Hailey Bieber spending all of Justin's money. Why did he sell his catalog? Is he going to go broke? Friends are concerned. They're concerned because he's unfollowing people. Oh my God, he must be having a mental breakdown. Look, guys, it is clear that Justin Bieber wants out. He probably can't even speak out.
So the day after CERN starts up its particle accelerator, the Georgia Guidestones gets. So what are the Georgia Guidestones exactly? These are the Georgia Guidestones. They're 20 feet tall and weigh roughly about 20 tons each. In total, that's almost 240,000 pounds. Here's a diagram giving more details. There are basically commandments written by an unknown person in all of the major languages today in an event that apocalyptic or catastrophic event happens. And at the top, there's a message written in the 4 major ancient scripts. For the longest time, nobody knew whose idea this was and who was funding it, but they went by the pseudonym R.C. Christian. These stones were placed so strategically that they align with celestial events in the sky. The capstone at the top is aligned with the North Star. The stones also served as an astrological calendar, using this peephole here. Every day at noon, the sun would shine a light through this hole here. That lets you know this wasn't designed by just anybody. Follow for part 2.
And they blew that shit up, bro. Typical.
There are people living inside of the Earth. It's true. New information from NASA states that there is a large ocean beneath the Earth's crust, after scientists detected movement below the surface. Around 500 miles below, a large supply of water has been found stored in a rock named ringwoodite. But it gets even crazier. Scientists say that this rock is so huge that it contains 3 times the amount of water on the Earth's surface. This causes many to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought, possibly even civilizations. While the news of this discovery was over 10 years ago, it was never talked about. Is the government hiding this information from us? What do you think?
Like I always say, if they was to tell us the truth, there's going to be some of us who's going to be like able to handle it and able to adapt and able to be free. And there's going to be some people who are going to freak out because they only used to being told what to do. And then there's going to be some people who freak out because they so enraged that they've been lied to their whole life. And they're going to be mad too because there's going to be some people like us who maybe either told them or maybe just put it out there and they came across it of us saying what we was saying about what could happen, what's really reality. And they're going to be mad that they was wrong. And they're going to be feeling like they've been effed over their whole life. And they're going to be enraged. It's going to be a whole bunch of different people feeling different emotions, and that's what's going to be kind of scary. If they was ever say, it's a flat plane, there's land past the ice walls, we can't get out, it's a firmament, there's an inner earth, there's Agartha, there's other being, people with, bro, it's going to be so many different emotions, and humans going to be humans. That's the best way I could put it. But we need the truth out, but humans is going to be humans.
What would you say is the most disturbing thing you've seen while hacking?
While hacking overall, or are you talking about just in child crimes and trafficking?
I guess maybe on the dark web.
I mean, I would say the most disturbing would have to be, you know what, it's better for me to just stay on the one topic. So yeah. I'll say the worst things will probably be, you know, I don't want to go into detail about these things. It's like the horrible conversations or videos or just, here's one I can tell you about. So, you know, a story that I heard from somebody else about somebody paying to watch a live stream of a baby getting their skull stomped on and crushed, you know, while the baby was alive, of course, and people paying to watch that live stream on a website, which I don't think it was a dark website. It was just a live stream. But yeah, I mean, that one, for whatever reason, although not related to crimes, was just as disturbing, if not more, to me than most. So
that was on the clear web?
It was a protocol on the clear web, yeah.
Man, y'all remember we went down that dark web? Oh.
Have you seen that one theory that Benjamin Franklin might have been like a serial? What? Yeah, so back in 1776, I guess he lived in London at this one house, and then he moved back to America or whatever. And during 1998, they wanted to make the house into like a museum. So while they're renovating the place and they, you know, they're digging it up, like they're going underneath it, bro, they find pretty much like a room with no windows in it with 15 skeletons inside of it.
What the?
And children skeletons.
Oh, what the?
So hell of people have theorized that he might have been. Yeah, and he killed all the people and hid their bodies underneath his house.
Yo,
he was damn near like Jack.
Saying, bro, on the low.
Yeah.
Wait, Benjamin Franklin, was he the guy who did the kite shit?
Yes, he's on the $100 bill.
Oh my god, wait, the guy who did the kite is the $100 bill?
Yeah. Weird,
how the there? And he's a.
Yeah.
Do you see what we're doing here in America?
Do you see what? You know, I'm not going to be closed-minded to that idea. I feel like that with Antarctica. I feel like that with the North Pole. I feel like that with what we heard about Shasta, this Mount Shasta. And I feel like that with the Grand Canyon. Those are just a few, because there's other places too, but that's just a few. Hey, I appreciate y'all, for real. Today's lineup was fire. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all collective. Thank you again. Y'all know if y'all made it to the end of this, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. Again, if you're watching on your TV, I appreciate you as well. I hope you have a smooth 7. Man, I love y'all for real, for real. I hope y'all have a productive day. I hope y'all good, man. I hope y'all vibrating high. And until I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm